this is Linda with LL Creation Studio, and I have a new journal that I have completed to share with you today. And I hope everybody's having a very nice day and you had a good weekend. Our weekend here was pretty quiet. It's cold for us in Kentucky. It's cold. And this is a 6x9 hardcover. She has been a fabric on top of the hardcover that I have sewn all the way around. And what this is a 1970s napkin, a heavy cotton, 100% cotton napkin, but it was a nice and heavy one. So it's got this really worn vintage look going on. Let me show you the back side. You can see more of it on the back side. And what it is a floral and fruit, apples and green leaves and things like that. But it's very vintage looking now. It's nicely faded, and I just fell in love with them. I got my hands on 3 of them. That's all that they had there at this estate sale. And her tie is a worn vintage looking cream sari silk, and she's just loose. That if you really didn't need a tie at all, but if in case you wanted to fill her up more, because she's got plenty of room for, I didn't get over rambunctious and fill her all the way up to the hilt where it didn't leave any rooms for you to do anything to her. So you can see the sewing in black all the way around. And this is a piece of suede, a wine color suede, which picks up the wine out of the napkin. Not wine, but the wine color of the fruit and some flowers. And then I stitched that all the way around, doing a crisscross stitch, where this is the solid straight stitch. And then here is a real heavy cardboard layer, and then another black cardstock layer. And then this is an 1879 copy of a print of this beautiful flower and dragonfly here, and it has some script words in there. And then Thoughts and Theories is her name, got to be her title. I'll call it a title. And she has 192 pages, and she has 6 signatures. Now here is a little clip here. And on that clip, I put one of Tim Holt's bead chains, and off of that, I did this star. And on this side of the star, it's hammered, and on this side of the star, it's a very smooth silver. And then I did this trim around the edges, all the way around, and you're going to see that I have the exposed binding, and there's your 6 signatures. And I did it with a wine color that matched the coming out of the napkin and this piece of suede and the floral here, wax linen thread. And here is the back, and you can see the print much better. But it's just nicely worn and faded. That's what I want to call it. It's really not worn. There's no bad spots in the napkins. And then here is the top, the 6 signatures, and here is some of the dyed green 100% muslin cotton that I got in there, protecting the spine. And then on the downside of the journal there, I have these beads, but I've left enough room that you can set the journal up like this, and the beads will not stop you from doing this. And if you want to set it on your desk and show, like this, you can, pardon me, see all of the nice beads and how you can just spread them out. They're beautiful beads. They're part of the beads that I still have not used all my I call them real beads in my jewelry making. that I had, that I still have. And I enjoy bringing them out and using them like this. And then, let me see, I wanted to show you this before I opened it up. All of the lace. This is beautiful lace inside. Okay, and then we're going to open her up. Oh, and you do know that you can take the clip off. And I have a little extra folder in here. We'll do that last. But here you can see the beautiful green fabric there, and some nice heavy crocheted lace. And then I did a piece of I think they call it raw muslin, and then I edged fringed it up. It's a big pocket, some collaging here. Am I in frame? Yep. Some collaging here, and then inside you have a little pocket there, and then you have this big heavy cardstock pocket that I did just a tag, a craft tag, and some of the wine color sari silk to bring all of the colors back in over here. Now on the other, and then you can also put something really large down in here, and I did one of these big receipts in there. And then you have Tim Holtz numbers running across the edge here. So there's a lot of details and a lot of little special touches that I did in this one. And then we have the labels. This is Tracy Loves Journals, Tracy Fox's labels that I had purchased from her Etsy site, which are, I mean, you get so many of these in so many colors, it's just astronomical. This is some of my stash paper, I call it scrapbook paper, that, you know, that comes in the 12 by 12s. And here you get a good view of this lace. It has sort of a little, it's very feminine, delicate looking. I know they use two different threads here. One thread is more, I don't want to say sparkly. It's not sparkly, but it's just two different colors going on, or textures. And then on this side, this is, like I said, a 12 by 12, comes out of a 12 by 12 pack, and I just folded it up and made you a big pocket here on this side. But you have plenty of room to write. And then I have one of these, and I don't know, I'm almost out of these. You know, I cut the days that I'm not recording or working on journals. I stay in my other office, and I just cut out all day long. And I'm, like I said, I'm almost out of these. I wish I knew who did them, and I can't find them on my computer, so I don't know where I got them. But anyway, I did it on the cream lightweight cardstock. It's not the 110 pound. I think it's either 66 or 68 weight. But you, like I said, you still have a lot of room to write. You have more room to put your things in here. And then we have some tracing paper and some more of the cardstock. And then I did a combination in this one, the white and the cream, and I think you're going to see some ivory, cream, and white. And now this is the 110 pound cardstock. And then you got a book page. It is a very vintage book. I think this one was the 1920s. And I just took you can see this is the natural color of the pages now. And it has a different feel to it. One of the photos, I love the little boy riding the horse. And the book's name is Little Men. And then some coffee stained, or I should say really coffee soaked, regular coffee paper, ledger paper. Now this is tea stain. You can see the different colors of my tea stain and my coffee stain. And this had just a little bit of gold in it, or I put it in a spray bottle and with the tea, and put just a tiny bit of gold, metallic gold, to it, and shook it up really good and sprayed it on the paper. And then this is part of the paper that got was sitting outside in the sun, so it comes out a beautiful color. It's light, and this is it again. And then here is your first center of the signature, first signature, and here you can see the beading that belongs to this one. And that I love this color of wine, wax linen. And what I did, since I wanted to really protect this, I put masking tape right here. You have to really get up there to see it, because I wanted to protect these, keep them out here where they've been measured and they sit very nicely and they don't get in your way out here. And see the little specks of gold right here. And this is cardstock, 110-pound cardstock, gold streaking, the ledger paper, and then that little coffee. But I think it turned out beautiful. I mean, it's just, you got some good images there. And then this is part of the little men. And that picture that you saw, it was taming the colt. And this is another cream color cardstock, the other side of it. And then you have a pocket here that you can tuck something. Nope, sorry, not this one. That was another one. A fold out there. The tracing paper. Another vintage sunflower, which is one of my favorite flowers, sunflowers, card. And a little tuck spot here with this postcard. Can't read the year, but it is a copy of a very old one. You can tell by the writing. And then they just put that butterfly in there, and a 3-cent postcard. And this is a picture of, I can't read it, Frickin in 1920. And this old wallpaper look here. And I made another pocket, places for you to write. And then this is an old receipt, $18.99, a copy of an old receipt. And then this is a copy of some wallpaper. I just wanted to give you something longer to fit into these. This is another different texture, and it's more of a pale yellow color. Coffee stain graph paper. Okay, now we're in the center of the second signature, and here are the beads that go in the second one. The light purple, and here is that wine color cut stone gem there. Multifaceted, I think is what they call that. I don't remember. And then this baby blue one, aqua. Okay, and I can just flip through because you know what all this is now. I added this just to give a pop of color. Same with that. And another one of those big sunflowers. another big pocket, another vintage looking journaling card, and here is the actual that you saw in the front. It's very heavy cardstock, and you can put anything in there that you want. You can decoupage on it. You can paint on it. You can write in it, write on it. There. Had a hard time there, didn't I? Sometimes my hands just don't want to move, or my mouth doesn't want to move. And here's that green. I had talked about this paper, wrapping paper, that I've been using since the fall. I fell in love with the color, and I bought a big roll of it, and then cut it down to 8.5 by 11. And here is a map of the world. Now, and I also talked about this in my first video of the year, that I finally got around to learn how to use my embossing machine, and I wasn't that pleased with it, that I could only use this size. And what it is, it was Tim Holtz Bagavan van embossing machine. It looks like a suitcase. And then we're at the signature of another, but I did not put, you can see, I didn't put any beads or anything here, but I did tape down the binding. Then the other side of what I had embossed. The tracing paper. Pardon me. This is a 4x6, I think, card. And then another. All of this paper looks so vintage to me. It's all out of my cardstock, out of different 12 by 12 packs. Some of them are very old. And whenever they're like that, you will see I will use my masking tape, which I think it adds to the vintage style too, to make sure that it doesn't rip on you. I mean, it's very lightweight cardstock. They call it cardstock, but it's very lightweight to me, cardstock. So I like to make sure that it can last a long time. And here's another of the wine color journaling folder card. Another one of those vintage postcards, copies of it. Another map. This is of Italy. This is a dictionary page that I did a lot of different stamping on. I saw Artie Mays do that, and I went, wow, that looks like fun. You know, you just get out a bunch of stamps and start stamping on every page, and after about the 15th page, I went, that's it. I didn't do any more. I still got it sitting back there in my workshop, because I mean, it's a lot of stamping, and you stamp page. This would be like what I did, and it was 15th page. So I mean, you stamp on both sides, so that's 30. So you would stamp this 30 times, or maybe more, depends on how many times on a page you were going to stamp it. Like this one's stamped here 3 times. But anyway, it was fun for a while. I do enjoy using the pages. More of my little gold tea stain paper. And then we have this signature here. Let's see what we got here. You have, these are little handmade beads. I can't remember. I know I bought them maybe 1.5 years ago from somebody on Etsy that does their beads, and this, she does her beads at craft shows and things like that, and they are handmade. So I'm very stingy of when I use them, and how many I use at a time. Because since they're handmade, like our journals, they're not cheap. You know, it takes time to make things by hand whenever you do it right. And here's the other side of that dictionary page. And this was a big dictionary. I mean, it's a good size paper-wise dictionary. And then you have another big pocket. I love these big pockets. And you have a blank receipt that you can write on. Another one of those box pockets that I did a little bit of decoupaging here, and a little bit of tuck spot. And I think all of these little things come from Tracy Fox's Etsy site. And here's another one of those vintage journaling cards that like I said, it's one of my favorite things to use, but I've used them so much that they're almost all gone. See what that is? I didn't glue this down where you can put these big things in there. And then another one over here. And so you can see why I said there's still plenty of room for you to add more ephemera. I did not go crazy with ephemera. And some tape here, some of my masking tape. And what I like about using these is over time, I want it to naturally age. I know on YouTube I've seen some people use the Distress ink pads on these, but I like for it to age naturally. But I like it like this too. To start with, I think it's beautiful. Now, tracing paper and onion paper are two different textures. This is a little bit heavier than an onion paper. Tracing paper is real smooth. Onion paper has a little hand to it. It's like it's been wrinkled and then maybe ironed back out or something. But this is tracing paper. I use both. There's nothing wrong with either. And this is the last one that has the beads. And here you have this great big emerald bead, beautiful sky blue bead. And then this one hangs like that, and then a red one. These silver beads. And I left this on there. Paperpizzazz.com was most of the paper that I guess the vintage, real vintage, this one was from that 12 by 12 pack. And you can see I have more masking tape. A little tuck spot there. And then another pocket. So you got plenty of pockets. I think you had at least, you have 6 signatures, and I think you have 2 of these in each signature. Another dictionary page. Look, that's sweet. And then this is from some hymn pages out of an authentic vintage hymn book that I bought from a shop on Etsy. And you know by now, I don't remember the name of it. Tape that one down totally. So every the paper on every center signature is the 110-pound cardstock that was tea stained and that had the gold in it. And the other side of the hymnal. See the other side of the dictionary page. And then we've got, just like the front, you have the same beautiful cotton lace and the fabric and some decoupaging, and you have a little tag here. It's a craft tag, and it has some verbiage on it. It looks like it could be 100 years old. And the wine sari silk, and then here in a little tuck spot here with a little saying. It's not in English. And then you still have something back here. One of Tracy Fox's tags. And then another number there. And that is the back of Thoughts and Theories. And now, remember, we have this extra folder that I made out of a heavy file folder, and I painted it, stained it, painted it, aged it, and then we have another piece here. This is real sweet colors. It's the pink, and look, there. And then if you open it up, you have two pads that are coffee stain or tea stain paper, and that has been sewn on. This has been sewn on the top, and you can write. We've got the coffee stain paper and the white paper. And then underneath it, you have the pockets. And then look what I did, since it's not going to be bulking that up. And here's one of Tracy Fox's little cutouts, ephemeras. But you can see you got the pink check, you've got pink, hot pink, or fuchsia color washi tape. And then this has all been painted by hand, pink, ivory colors. And then I just got a handful of ephemera stuck in this one for you that you can distribute. This is a hand painted watercolor paper, and another journaling card. And then you have these little pieces, and this is handmade paper here, and then I stamped on it that you can leave here in this ephemera folder. And same thing over here, you have the, I didn't count the pages, but these are very nice sizes. And then you have more of this, another one of these, and then I added this for color and fun. It was one of these envelopes that I have, and it has gold and sort of a peachy color to it, just to add more fun. And then that one, so something just a little extra. And then on the back side you have a big, so you can see the painting and everything. On the, you have one of these beautiful vintage huge folder card things, and then something else here, and this one is pink and green. So this is a little, and it's sturdy, it's not flimsy folder that goes inside here. So that was the long rendition of Thoughts and Theories here, and I hope that you enjoyed it. It is loaded with very old paper and vintage items, and it all started with one napkin that I found at an estate sale. So that's how it goes sometimes. One piece dictates what the whole journal is going to look like. But again, don't forget the beads that you can just set out like that. And please, if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to my channel, and then you'll get YouTube will notify you whenever I have new journals coming out. And I do have new digitals again on my Etsy site, and we'll be doing some more. We're just really and truly, it's my husband doing it. I noticed that while I was watching one of Roxy videos over the weekend, her husband does her digitals also. I find amusing that our husbands are getting into the craft business too. But we're going to be doing more digitals. We're just learning how to do it. And I have a whole huge container, I mean one of those great big containers of postcards, receipts, all kinds of very old things that I have picked up from estate sales, people on eBay. And then we just had a Joe Lynn's. He was a huge antique dealer downtown, and he was in this old house, and he has like 6 stories. It's crammed full. Well, I guess he passed away, and they were doing an auction sale online, and I picked up quite a bit of stuff that'll be coming out later on my Etsy site. So I just wanted to and as I start getting more, I will do a very short YouTube video on what will be there. But a lot of the stuff is the very vintage look, and then I have a lot of some of the stuff is going to be you're going to see some background pages of my own painting, watercolor painting, and things like that. So enjoy, and please leave me some comments. I love hearing from you, and I know I have some new followers, and I really appreciate you signing up, and I really appreciate my old ones that have been with me from day one. So thank you very much. Bye bye.